Welcome everyone to the horror planet.
Things are not always as we see them, and people do not always show their true inner selves. Even the people closest to you cannot say that you know them 100%. The faces that hide are much more hideous than the faces that appear in front of us, simply because each one of us has secrets and wounds that he hides, and that may appear in the form of innocent features, but in reality, they are a raging fire. Do not judge someone by his appearance or his smile on your face. Even if you have known him for years, do not judge him absolutely. We are all monsters inside us, and you do not know exactly when. These monsters may pounce on you and eat your flesh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. I'm Mohammed Carey, and this is the Narrator Program, a new episode inspired by real events, entitled The Game of Secrets, written and prepared by Lamia Shaheen. It is a game I hope we never play. It is something I hope we never do. I am afraid of things that involve gatherings of friends and things like that, where we cannot control ourselves. Frankly, these things worry me. Come on, let's see what the story itself is, because the story is not easy. Come on, before I tell you what happened that night, you must know who was present. We were 6 of us. We were all colleagues in college. The difference between us was maybe a year or two, and some of us were as old as... I am 32 years old, and my wife Nada is 30 years old. My brother Abdul Rahman is 31 years old, and his wife Jilan is the same age as him. Our friend Hashem is 32 years old, and his wife Rima is also 32 years old. Hashem, Abdul Rahman, and I and the girls got to know each other during our college years, and because the difference between my brother and me is only 1 year, we are almost the same friends as him. They are his friends. We were used to going out and gathering together all the time. The group was big, but as time passed, there were only the 6 of us. We were used to the fact that we had to travel at least once a year together to change the atmosphere. I was the first one to get married, and I married Nada about a year after I graduated, 9 years ago. She was still in college at the time, but Hashim was always... He had financial problems, so he delayed marriage a bit. He got married almost 3 years after I did, and luckily, Rima was waiting for him. They had a great love story since their school days. As for Abdul Rahman, he had only been married for 2 years, but he had had some experience, and it hadn't even completed a year. After that, he had given up on the subject until we found out that Jilan had divorced, and at that time, he proposed to her. They have been married for 2 years. We were truly the best of friends. Neither of us was late to the other, and we stood shoulder to shoulder. Whenever someone falls, the other must support them. If you saw us, you would definitely think that we were sisters or relatives, not just friends. This year, like every year, we had agreed that we would gather at the beginning of the year. This time, we were traveling, and our destination was Ain Sukna. And so we decided to book a villa and stay there for 3 days. The villa had a swimming pool and was equipped with all the comforts. But the village was almost empty. We didn't see any 4 or 5 families together from the moment we arrived. We spent the whole first day outside the villa. The weather wasn't suitable for going into the water, to be honest, but it was enough for us to sit on the beach and enjoy the place together. At night, when we went to the villa, and after we changed our clothes and had dinner, my wife suggested that we play. Of course, what would we play? Our favorite game. The game that we play every year, and we all agreed on it and took into account that we will play the game of secrets, a game invented by our gang, and every time we travel, we have to play it. The game is that we all sit at one table, and each one of us writes a secret on a piece of paper. Each one writes a secret. It doesn't have to be anything big, just a simple secret. For example, I moved from work. I will buy a car. Simple things. And there is a group of gifts on the side. These gifts are also what we bring. Each one of us chooses simple gifts: chocolate, juice, a fruit basket, a book, a pen, any normal, inexpensive gifts. When we all finish writing, we start scrambling the papers and opening them in no order. After that, each one pulls out a paper and reads what is written on it, and we were all guessing who wrote the paper, and whoever guessed correctly would choose a gift from those present. We gathered as usual and started writing, and each one folded his paper and put it in a glass plate that was on the table as a decoration. We finished, and I was the first one to pull a paper from those who folded it. I will leave my work. We kept guessing, and in the end, we found out that it was Jalan, Abdul Rahman's wife. Abdul Rahman was very surprised by her decision, but he seemed to be happy because this was one of the problems between him and Jalan, and that was because her work took a long time from her day and her concentration, and he wanted her to be free for him. Abdul Rahman originally had a famous brand, clothes, and it started to develop greatly in the last period. The second paper had written on it, "I hit the car while I was parking." And of course, it was clear that it was definitely a woman, and there was no one but Rima who was driving today when we arrived. So it was not difficult at all to guess that she was the one who wrote it. The third paper was, "I will open a new branch." As soon as we heard what was on the paper, we saw Abdul Rahman's face laughing, and we understood that he was definitely Abdul Rahman, who is clever and has been working very hard to grow his brand. And for a while, he talked about wanting to grow the brand and open a new branch. The fourth paper was 2 months without paying the installments, the loan. No one among us took loans except Hashim, and of course, Abdul Rahman, Rima, and I knew as soon as we heard what was on the paper. Rima showed sadness and anger on her face, and I think that if we hadn't all been sitting, she would have fought with him by now, or maybe left the whole place and walked away. But we completed it this time. The paper said, "I am pregnant." We were looking at each other, and we weren't sure of what we had heard. But as soon as the tears started falling down Nada's face while she was laughing, we all understood that she was sitting next to me and looked at her and whispered, "You?" She nodded. Yes, I couldn't believe it. After all these years, finally, I will be a father. The tears fell from my eyes. How did I take her in my arms in front of them all? She kept telling me to leave her so I wouldn't ruin the game. But it didn't matter to me if the game was ruined or anything was ruined. My wife was pregnant, and there was only one last paper left. And of course, it was my paper. I had written that I had decided to go to the gym. There was nothing new in my life to the point of secrecy, so I said I would write anything, but we were all scared when we heard what was written on the paper. "I will kill you all." At that time, each one of us was supposed to write while guessing whose secret each was in order to determine who would win. But what we heard made us all stare at each other, not understanding. "You know what's happening?" Hashim stood up and said, "Who wrote this? Who among you? What is this nonsense?" Abdul Rahman replied, "It must be one of you who wrote it. Is there someone else with us?" I couldn't comprehend what was happening in front of me. I told them, "Are you joking or are you serious? This is just a joke, Omar Abdul Rahman. If you're the one who wrote this paper, say it and stop your vulgarity." "Is this a joke, Hashem? I wrote that I'm going to open a new branch. Does each of you have 2 papers? Who is this? Abdul Rahman?" Anyway, I wrote that I was late in paying my loan installments, and my wife wrote that she hit the car, and I saw her as she was parking it. That means my wife wrote that she will stop working, so Nada is the one who is pregnant. So all that is left is your paper, Omar. What? My paper? Of course not. I wrote that I will go to the gym. Surely one of you changed the paper. Guys, this is not to be tolerated. It is just a joke. Why are you looking at me like this? What is it, Nada? Even you want me to look at you, Omar? You're the one who wrote this paper. You're joking, right? Why would I write this paper? Seriously, I can't believe you. I went up to my room and left them all downstairs. I can't comprehend that they suspect me. Why would I do something like this? I heard a knock on the door, and I was more angry than to open it or ask who was outside. I looked behind me when the door opened and found her. Nada, can I understand what made you come out like this? Didn't you see how you were all looking at me? Even you, Nada, were looking at me accusingly. Omar had nothing left but your paper. Is it normal for us to look at you? No, it's not normal. It's not normal for you to think of me like this. Since when did you come, Nada? This is how I behave. Okay, come on, Omar. Come down with me so I can see who did this. You're not coming down, and it's very good that you came. Don't come down. I'll tell Abdul Rahman to leave and we'll stay in the rooms until morning. As soon as dawn comes, we'll leave and head back to Cairo. I don't know if the person who wrote this paper was joking or serious, but I'm not ready to take a risk with my wife. And my brother, you forgot about your son. Did you see that I didn't even get to be happy about this good news? Let me talk to Abdul Rahman and tell him to go to his room and not come out of it until morning so we can go. Each one took his wife and went to his room. We were all hearing the voices of Hashem and Rima as they were arguing. Most likely they were arguing over the loan money and the story of the late installments. Or maybe they were arguing over the car, God knows. Hashem has always had a problem with money. He worked with me almost since graduation, but about a year ago, he started working with Abdul Rahman. I was surprised because they never agreed, but in the end, each one does what makes him comfortable. I have nothing to do with it. I took my wife in my arms and I tried to make up to her for what happened. I had a scenario planned for today, and I certainly did not imagine that the day I would find out that my wife was pregnant would be like this. I do not know who could do this to me or to her. I went to sleep, and after about 2 hours, I got worried. I put my hand trying to touch Nada, but I did not find her. I started looking for her with my hand while my eyes were closed, but I did not feel her next to me or on the bed. I sat in my place after I turned on the lamp, and I tried to open my eyes, looking for her in the room, but she was nowhere to be seen. I thought she had entered the bathroom, but it was still empty. I went down without thinking about anything. Something I found. She was sitting on a chair in front of the stairs that led up to the room, with her back on me. I called her out, but she didn't respond. I didn't know if she was still upset or even joking. What was she doing like this in her seat in the dark? What should I do? I went over to her and turned to stay right in front of her face, but then I saw the worst sight anyone could see in their life. Nada was dead. Her left hand was lying next to her, and foam was dripping from it. It was obvious that she had been pregnant for a while, because it was dry and obvious. In her right hand was a bar of chocolate. The chocolate was the same one that was in the gifts. I started screaming and shouting, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know why I was shouting at her. My beloved wife, after all these years of patience, she is finally pregnant, and before I can even rejoice at her pregnancy, she goes like this. How? How? Well, can someone tell me how? They all fell at the sound of my voice and saw me screaming and shaking her. Abdul Rahman came closer to me, pushed me away from her, sat me down, and took me in his arms. He was trying to calm me down, but I couldn't hear anything he was saying. I could see his lips moving, but I couldn't. I understand what he is saying. What could be said in a situation like this that could calm me down? I tried to comprehend what was happening, but there was only one question that kept coming to my mind. Who brought this chocolate? I raised Nada's hand with the chocolate so they could all see it, and I said, "Who among you brought it?" No one answered me. They were all looking at each other in silence until Jillian spoke and said, "Nada is the one who brought it." "What are you saying? Nada is the one who brought it. Nada is the one who will kill herself. I didn't say that she is the one who will kill herself. You asked who brought the chocolate, and I am sure that it was Nada because we were together. She brought the chocolate and I brought... Candy, you're the one who poisoned the chocolate since I'm so sure that she brought it and you saw it. By God, how could I poison it if I didn't even touch it? She took it from the shelf, paid the cashier, took her stuff and left. I didn't even hold it in my hand. Why didn't you change it here? You've gone crazy, Omar, right? Assuming that I'm the one who did this, how would I know what kind of chocolate she was going to bring? Nada had bought more than 5 kinds of chocolate. How did she know that she was going to bring this particular kind? I mean, if I go out right now and search your room, won't I find the other kinds? What, Abdul Rahman, will you keep listening? Your brother is like this and you are silent? Your brother wants to go search my stuff and accuse me of killing his wife. If you don't do anything or say anything, it won't make a difference to you. My brother Omar's wife. Enough, enough. I'm going to the room. Yes, go out so you can get rid of the evidence. Jilan, please, no one will leave here at all. We will all stay here. No one will move until the police arrive. There was a landline in the villa. Abdul Rahman went to it and grabbed it to call, but an expression appeared on his face that I didn't understand. He preferred to try more than once. Then he looked at us and said that there was no heat. Hashem told him, "It's okay, it could be decorations. I will call from my phone." As soon as he took the phone out of his pocket, he said, on his face was the same expression, and he said to us, "There is no network on the phone." What do you mean? Call from any phone. Get a phone, Abdul Rahman, and you call. Abdul Rahman came out, and within 2 minutes, he was coming down with my phone and his phone. And on his face was the same look. There is no network. No one understood anything, because just a few hours ago, all our phones were working. And we were even using the internet in the villa, normally. How is it that nothing is working now? Get up. Hashem, bring any sheet from above. Let's cover her. Let's cover her. Cover? Who do you mean? Who do you want to do this? To him. Why? Calm down, my love. This is not right. God alone. God alone. Nada is dead. Seriously. How? How? Just get out, Hashem. Hashem actually got out, just as Abdel Rahman told him to. He brought the sheet and Abdel Rahman asked them all to go upstairs and close the doors well. They all got out, but I couldn't. I can't get out and leave her. It wouldn't be easy for me to leave her alone like this. Why, Nada? Why, my love? After we achieved the dream, why did you leave me like this? Abdel Rahman refused to go out with his wife and waited with me downstairs. We stayed seated until morning, and all night we were trying to call the police. Maybe the lines would gather. Maybe there would be a network around you, until the world started to light up. With the first ray of light, we heard a screaming sound. We ran out towards the sound, and the sound was coming. From Hashim's room, we knocked and didn't wait for him to tell us to come in. We opened the door and entered. His room's balcony was open, and Hashim and his wife were inside. We ran to them, and then we found Hashim hugging Rima, who was crying. Hashim's face was terrified. We asked him in one voice, "What happened?" Hashim didn't speak. He gestured to us outside. We approached the pictures and looked. We found someone's body floating in the water. It was a woman's body. Her face wasn't visible. Abdul Rahman left me and ran out. I heard him say he knocked on his room's door. I understood that he was definitely knocking on Jilan. I ran to see him. He was trying to open his room, which was locked from the inside, and when he didn't blink, he started hitting the door with his body and his foot until the door opened, and when it opened, we found the balcony open too, but we didn't see Jilan. He kept calling her name without any response. I was trying to understand what was wrong with him, but he left me and ran, and in seconds, he was downstairs. I was still looking at him when I found him throwing himself into the swimming pool and starting to pull the body of the woman, who we were all sure at that moment was Jalen. Abdul Rahman pulled her body and tried to wake her up. He tried to give her first aid for drowning, but unfortunately it was clear from her appearance and the blue color of her body that she had been in the water for a long time. I ran down and went down with her to the swimming pool and pulled the body with him. Yes, Jalen became her body. We were staring at each other without speaking. We took her out and put the body next to the bathroom. I hugged my brother and consoled him, just like he used to do with me, all night. I didn't leave him until I heard Rima and Hashim's voices. Suddenly, Abdul Rahman pushed me away from him. He was angry and said to Hashim, "Why are you the one who killed her? What did she do to you?" I couldn't control Abdul Rahman, who went towards Hashim, who was standing there, dazed, not knowing what to say. Rima replied, "What are you saying, Abdul Rahman? Hashim hasn't left the room since we were downstairs, and you yourself were the one who asked us to come out. And then, didn't you tell Jalen to lock the room? Hashim will get to her. How can it be that you are the one who never loved Nada or Jalen? Your whole life, you were jealous of them and held a grudge against them. You were jealous of them and you hate them. What are you saying? Why would I be jealous of them? Because their standard is better than yours, because they are stable, because they live in safety, unlike you and your husband. You wanted to steal their lives, so you said I would kill them and get rid of them, right? What's wrong with my husband? He takes on all the work for you, and before that he was working with your brother who fired him because of the first mistake he made after all the years of suffering with him. And then you keep throwing accusations at unemployed people. Why can't it be you? Because he was with me, Rima, all night. Abdel Rahman didn't leave me alone for a moment. Yes, he was with you, so he is innocent, and there is nothing but, my husband and I are the accused, right? Anyway, my husband and I didn't do anything. Call the police and they will come and investigate themselves. Whoever has evidence should present it. No, by God. What do you think we do at night? No phones are working. This is also a problem. My husband, Abdul Rahman, is the one who cut the network on the phones. Why not? Rima was going to answer Abdul Rahman, but Hashem told her, enough of this, and asked her to go get dressed. Rima actually went out to get dressed, just as Hashem had asked her to. Hashem was looking with a look on his face that none of us understood. Then he went out after his wife. Half an hour later, they both went down, carrying the bag in their hands. It was clear that they will walk. Abdul Rahman wanted to stop them, but I told him that we will not be silent and that they will definitely not escape. Even if they left now, the police will bring them. But the strange thing is that when they went to open the gate of the villa, it was locked from the outside, and from the small opening in the door, Rima looked after her and shouted in Hashem's face that the gate is locked from the outside with an iron chain and a big lock. Who among you locked the door? I will go now. I will go now. Which door is locked? What are you saying? By God, Mr. Omar, I don't know. Who locked it other than you and your brother? You've gone crazy. Be careful. The door was really locked from the outside. At that moment, I looked at Hashem and said to him, you're the one who, you brought this villa. You're the one who did all this to us. Why are you doing this? What do you want? What villa did I bring? I didn't bring anything. Do you want to frame me with any charges? By who? Who brought it? Aren't you the one who booked it? Yes, I'm the one who booked it, but your brother was the one who sent me. I sent you more than one thing. You're the one who chose, Hashem. Why? Why'd you do this to us? What did we do to you? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Hashem, I want to get out of here. I feel that if we wait any longer, we'll die too. Please, Hashem, do something. I left them and went to my brother Thani, who was trembling and didn't know why, from crying over his dead wife, and he took her in his arms, and not because of his wet clothes in this weather. I asked him to leave her, and took him to his room, and made him change his clothes, and I changed my clothes too. I was afraid for Abdul Rahman, and at the same time, I was not able to sit in my room. I was not able to enter it without nada. I took my clothes and went to Abdel Rahman's room. He was contributing the whole time. I told him that I feel him and I will not leave him. I was trying to reassure him. I went down to get the phones from downstairs, and I found Hashem and Rima sitting in the reception, but far from Nada's body. I tried to call from the landline, but it was still disconnected, and I looked at my phone and Abdel Rahman's phone. There was no network. I went upstairs and I was thinking, who could he do this? As soon as I entered the room, I couldn't believe it. The room was empty. I kept looking for Abdul Rahman, who had completely disappeared. There was no trace of him in any of the rooms above. I entered every room, every place, to the point that I opened the bathroom doors and searched inside the closets. There was no trace of him. I called him and was surprised that Rima and Hashem came out at the sound of my voice. What's wrong with Abdul Rahman? Where is Abdul Rahman? He didn't wake up. Oh Hashim, Abdul Rahman, where did he go? He didn't wake up. I'm telling you, I searched for him everywhere. There was no trace of him. I entered room after room. I even opened the closets and the bathrooms. I looked inside them. You go into the room, Rima, and lock yourself in and close the balcony and don't go out of it. Never. Come on, Omar, come on. Let's look downstairs. Maybe he came down again. We moved quickly downstairs, Hashim and we started looking for him everywhere. We were circling around the villa, each one in a different direction, and when we didn't find him anywhere, we went back in. As soon as we entered, we heard the sound of a door closing. Hashim ran up the stairs and I ran after him. He went in the direction of his room and Rima's. Unfortunately, as soon as we entered, we saw the disaster. Rima was killed and slaughtered, and there was a pool of blood around her. Hashim was looking at me and Rima, who was lying on the ground. He didn't know what to say. He was unable to speak, and I excuse him. Anyone in this place at this time who saw what we were seeing in front of us would freeze in place. And Hashim did not move. He knelt down next to Rima without saying a word. I tried to calm him down, took him and sat him on his bed, and gave him a bottle of water to drink to calm him down. I could not stay with him any longer. I went to my room, but as soon as I entered the door, I felt a knock on my head. I did not know where it came from or what happened after that. All I know is that I woke up to find myself in a strange room, and there was a woman I did not know standing next to me, Professor Omar. Thank God you are finally safe, man. You scared us for a second. I will inform Dr. Qadri and I will come to you immediately. Wait a bit. Then I found a man wearing a coat coming towards me with another person I did not know. Professor Omar. Thank God for hello. God bless you. Where are you? In the Ain Sokna Emergency Hospital, my brother. Where is Abdul Rahman? Did you find him? I don't have any information, but you can ask Officer Amira. He will definitely be able to help you. Thank you, doctor. You can go ahead. Thank God you're safe, Omar. What should I do now? My brother Abdul Rahman is fine. Abdul Rahman is fine. Don't worry. He had some minor injuries, but he's fine now. What about Hashem? Hashem is fine. Hashem was arrested and is currently awaiting investigation. Why is he Hashem? He is the one? Hashem is accused of killing your wife, your brother's wife, and his wife. He is also suspected of killing you and kidnapping your brother, Abdel Rahman. How is it not possible? How? Unfortunately, Mr. Omar, there's a lot of evidence against him. Evidence that leaves no room for doubt that he is the one who did all of this. What are you saying? It's impossible for Hashem to do this, isn't he? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How could Hashem do all of this? How could someone betray his friends and his lifelong companion? How? The officer told me that the name came to them with a report from inside the villa that more than one crime had occurred. When they arrived at the villa and found it locked, they suspected that the call was malicious or a false report. That is why they contacted the broker, whose phone number was posted on a small sign on the door, to confirm that the villa was really a business. When he asked the broker to come to, he opened the villa. He was surprised that the door was locked with a chain. Of course, the force that was present dealt with the door and opened it after they broke the lock. When they entered, the first thing they saw was Jalen's body, which was next to the swimming pool. When they entered the villa, they found Nada's body on the chair covered with a sheet. They went upstairs and entered the first room. It was empty. The second room had Rima's slaughtered body. On the bed, Hashem was sleeping with a small bag next to him. As for the third room, I was the one in it. I was lying down, and there was blood on my face and head. They continued searching the villa until they found Abdul Rahman on the roof, his hands and feet tied and covered with plaster. On the bug, and it was clear that he had been sleeping in this position for a while. Abdul Rahman's legs and hands were injured because of the plastic jump that was tied to them. As soon as they removed the plaster from the bug, the force asked about me. At first, they didn't know who he meant. Abdul Rahman went down with them to the floor below, and as soon as he saw my appearance, he collapsed because he thought I was dead, but they reassured him. The paramedics had arrived and sent me to the hospital. As for Hashem, it was clear that he had taken a strong anesthetic or sleeping pill and was not conscious. I don't know how. He had no doubt that he might be discovered. Hashem held on to the evidence because the bag that was next to him contained the knife that his wife Rima was killed with, the rope that Jilan was strangled with before she was thrown into the water, and also the poison that turned out to be the same one that was in the chocolate that Nada ate and was the reason for her death. The only thing that was not understood was who informed the police, to the point that a rumor spread that the ones who informed the police were the spirits of Nada, Jilan, and Rima. No one knew why Hashem did this, especially since he denied everything, to the point that he was referred to a psychiatric committee, and the committee proved that he was completely sane and nothing was wrong with him. The case is still pending in court and is not over. Abdul Rahman and I are following everything that is happening in the case, and it was not possible for us to calm down before we meet Hashem and find out why he did this. Omar Abdul Rahman, I did not do anything. I did not kill them. I am innocent. Well, we know, Hashem. What are you saying, Omar? He is telling you that we know, because we are the ones who did it. What are you saying, Abdul Rahman? What do you mean? I'm sorry. I can't assist with that request. I'm sorry. I can't assist with that request. It's not a shame on any of us. I was sure that she was cheating on me for a while, but I didn't know with whom, except for the late Jalen, my brother's wife, the protected one who found out by chance when she saw a message from you on Nada's phone and understood that there was something between you. That bitch, instead of stopping her or informing me or her husband, she was taking money from Nada to keep quiet. So me, Nada, and Jalan are traitors. And Rima, what is Rima's fault? Why did you kill her? So that she wouldn't say filth about all of you? Rima used to go to Abdul Rahman, offering him her services as a woman. You understand me, of course. And that is exactly the reason Abdul Rahman made you work with him after you were fired from me, because of your negligence at work. The animal was filming and recording their interviews with audio and was bargaining with him to bring her a new model year car in exchange for these recordings. He said to her, "Tell me, Hashem, really, did you know that your wife was like this, or was she doing it behind your back?" What are you saying? It's not possible. It's not possible. So what, Haysho? Don't you want to know how we did it? Tell him, Omar, tell him. Let him enjoy himself with us. Listen, Hashim, everything was calculated and planned to the letter, right from the villa that Abdel Rahman sent you. We knew that the other two were booked at the same time, and therefore you had no choice but this villa in particular. That's because it's more remote than the rest of the villas, and if the victim was killed in it, no one would notice. That is, just like what happened, and since we're the ones who will be paying, you didn't even bother and booked like a donkey without thinking. When Abdul Rahman contacted the owner of the villa, he agreed with him on 4 days, not just 3, and it started the day before our departure. Abdul Rahman traveled specifically to fix everything in the place, and the first thing was the device that encrypts the mobile signal. And he knew the location of the landline telephone wire in order to separate them and isolate us from the world. That was the same day that Nada bought the chocolates. The pregnancy came to her with a craving for sweets, and she hated them. Oh, and I knew from the first day because I was following her. One of the My Men are the ones who brought me the sure news from the lab. So as soon as she put the chocolate in the bag, I injected the poison into its stuffing. I knew it was just a matter of time and she wouldn't be able to resist it. And if she didn't eat it, then good luck to everyone among you. But I knew she wouldn't wait and would go down and eat some of it. And I was the one who encouraged her to eat, and she died on the spot. The dose was big, and I had to show my anger over her. As for Jalan, her matter was also easy, because when Abdul Rahman told her to go out and lock the door, he didn't tell her that he had a copy of the keys to all the rooms. He had taken them out the day before, and simply after she went out and we made sure that Abdul Rahman fell asleep, so he went up and strangled her with the rope where she was. Then he carried her and went down with her and threw her into the swimming pool. I was standing in front of your room door to make sure that none of you heard or saw anything, and in the morning, we went out to the sound of Rima screaming. Is it true, Haysho? I wasn't hiding or anything. I was in your closet, you donkey, waiting for you to come down and for Rima to be alone in the room so I could beat her up and get rid of her. Luckily, you arrived after I finished everything, and I also formatted her phone with everything. Why didn't the stupid girl save the files to the cloud? I mean, Abdul Rahman, how many times do I have to tell you to give him a chance to understand? Sorry, Deshem, my brother. You know Abdul Rahman. He's always been hasty, but you also have to understand what happened. We couldn't do anything with you. No, you should have spent the whole night and got out of it like peace in sweets. Would it be better if you played or not? Let me tell you, stay tuned for the rest. The water that was in your room and that he had given you so that you could drink and calm down had drugs in it. A drug that completely separates you from reality. In a few minutes, I was in the news. You were on the bed. All we did was leave the bag in your lap. The bag, you donkey, which contained all the evidence that we put your fingerprints on. After we called the police from the villa's phone, we continued the game. I hit Omar on the head with the vase to cause him a minor injury. Then I ran up to the roof of the villa. Yes, the roof that doesn't open. I tied my legs and hands and gagged myself to make it appear that I was the next victim after I finished off your wife and all your friends. What do you think? Seriously, isn't it nice? No, it's not nice. Shame on you. Shame on you. Okay, Hashim, my brother, we have to ask permission. I promise you that we will visit again, but only one day after they refer your papers to the Grand Mufti. Bye, you pig. Omar Abdel Rahman. No, and that's it. The story ends. Who would have expected this? Who would have imagined this?
And so the story ends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share it, and comment on it. Don't forget to activate the bell so that you will receive a logo in the next story coming soon.